Hello everyone and welcome to their Teamfight Tactics Guide. My name is Drybear and today we're going to talk all about the brand new champion to join Teamfight Tactics in 9.14, Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate is a 2-cost Pirate Sorcerer, so he joins the likes of the Sorcerers and Pirates in the game, but this is actually a great addition because it fills a gap in some areas. More specifically, it's a Pirate option, which gives you another Pirate for the early stages of the game, which is where the origin bonus is best used. Pirate synergies late game don't really provide any teamfight prowess at all, so you don't really want to have them in your late game comp, but the early game gold gain, the income you get from the Pirate origin, is very valuable. The problem was there was only 3 early game pirates with Gangplank, Graves, and Pike, with the 4th pirate being Misfortune, a 5-cost legendary that will only show up in the late stages of the game. So having a 2-cost pirate show up in the pool early on means that going for the pirate build, if you're falling behind or you just want to run econ, is a lot more likely and more viable. On top of that, he is the 8th sorcerer to join the roster. We currently have 7 sorcerers in there, so if you're trying to get that 6th sorcerer bonus, you're leaving one of them out, which is usually a Vagar or a Cassidon or an Ari, because the other ones are just much better. But having another sorcerer in the mix is great because it gives you more options to mix between them. I've been playing Twisted Fate as much as I can on the PvE, trying to figure out what works with him, what doesn't work with him, what items bolster his strengths, and where he fits in best in a team comp. So in today's video, we're gonna cover all about Twisted Fate and everything that I've learned. But first, here's a fully itemed out 2-star Twisted Fate. Pay attention to the damage charts on the right side of the screen. Let's kick things off with Twisted Fate's ability. It is called Pick a Card, which is pulled directly from League of Legends. And what will happen is when Twisted Fate gets to full mana, he'll draw a card out of 3. This will take a few seconds, but once selected, Twisted Fate's next auto attack will apply the effect for the card that he got. If you random the blue card, he will give mana to any surrounding allies around him when the blue card lands. If you get the gold card, it will stun the target that he shoots at. And if you get the red card, it'll do AoE damage around the target that gets hit. Now, I've tried all kinds of items on Twisted Fate just to see what works. I tried a death cap specifically to see if his blue or gold effects get scaled by anything in the game, and the answer is no. So the death cap and other ability-based scaling items will only affect his damage AoE ability. Everything else will stay the same. You won't be able to increase the amount of mana you get back from the blue card, and you can't scale the stun duration you get from the gold card. So for this reason, I wouldn't recommend any damage items or scaling items on him, mostly because a third of the time you'll be able to use it, the rest of the time it will do nothing for him, and it's better used on a different sorcerer or a different elementalist or anyone that can benefit from ability scaling. Now, that being said, you really want to utilize frequency of ability usage on Twisted Fate. If Twisted Fate only gets 1 or 2 ultimates off per fight, I wouldn't even recommend putting him in there. In fact, overall, I would put Twisted Fate at about a B tier. He's good if you use him right and you have the team to surround him and the positioning's okay, but if he has no items and you don't have the synergy, he's actually not that effective. So the name of the game for Twisted Fate is to get as many abilities off as you possibly can. And of course, this means Spear of Shojin, Rapid Fire Cannon, Phantom Dancer, Rage Blade, even things like Static Shiv that have attack speed item will help him a lot in getting lots of abilities casted off. The Rapid Fire Cannon I do like on him, mostly because it means that he'll always be in range to use his abilities. He doesn't have to move around to use his next card when he draws it. And it also means that he's able to get some really good stuns and AoE damage dealt out from anywhere on the board because he has the extra range to benefit from it. Not only that, but of course, Rapid Fire Cannon has the 30% attack speed on it, which makes him attack even more, getting him more mana and also being able to cast the cards once they're ready to go. I was worried with Rapid Fire Cannon that if he was too far away from his teammates, the blue card wouldn't apply the mana, though it does seem like the area of effect is really, really large. I haven't been able to see too many clips where he doesn't give mana to almost everyone on the entire board, so that one didn't seem to be too much of a problem at all. Overall, just getting attack speed on him as it does with other ability characters, but you don't need to get the ability scaling to make it work. And since you want to make sure that he's alive as long as possible, using as many abilities possible to get the most value out of him, you want to position him as such as well. Pocketing him like a hyper carry, even though he's not really a hyper carry, helps, but anywhere he can stand in your composition where you feel like he's he's going to be one of the last few to die, you'll benefit a lot from it. You're not always going to know what you're going to get from Twisted Fate, and that's why the lifetime helps a lot in getting those abilities out there. Leveling up makes a big difference for this guy as well. If you can get Twisted Fate to 2-star or 3-star quickly, it makes the stun duration go up to 4 seconds, and he actually does a lot of damage in AoE from the red card as well. So not only is he a really great disruption character doing 3 or 4 second stuns on targets, doing AoE damage and splashing across the board, but the synergy with him giving AoE mana to a sorcerer comp, like a 6 sorcerer comp, works phenomenally. It's a little bit hard to control if you don't have any attack speed on him, but if he gives a bunch of AoE mana to an Aurelion Soul, a Karthus, a Lulu, a Morgana, and gets them all their abilities back, not to mention giving mana to people like Sejuani or Cho'Gath or Shapeshifters, it can work really well. So I think from that standpoint, if you can get a 2-star or 3-star Twisted Fate early, you may be able to slot him into like a Shapeshifter or a Sorcerer Elementalist build, because that boost of mana can make a big difference. But remember, if he's low HP, dies early, or doesn't have any items, he can be a pretty big negative to your team, because if he only gets one ult off and it's the wrong one, say he gets a red card or he stuns someone that's about to die anyway, he can have a very low value output. So the thing with Twisted Fate, which is a great addition to the game, but also a little bit of a double-edged sword, is he's strong, but also has a really big learning curve. If you use him incorrectly, he's garbage. If you use him correctly, he can be really good. That's why I put him at about a B tier, because you have to know where you're putting him and what you're trying to get out of him. I also thought about trying tanky items on him to make him last a lot longer. The problem is his base stats, his armor, resistance, and HP are on the very low side. So all the tank items you put on him are sometimes just not going to be worth the effort and will be better placed on someone that can hold the front line. So that'll do it for Twisted Fate. If you guys have any questions for me, be sure to stop by my live stream, twitch.tv/drybear. I stream every Monday through Thursday in the afternoon Eastern time, and I'll see you in the next one.